Greetings of the day. I welcome you all for fourth session of the course Numerical Methods and Computer Programming. We will be starting with bracketing methods for finding out the roots of equation, which basically includes two methods which we are going to study. First method is bisection method and second method is regular falsi method, and if time permits we will try to study a secant method. So bracketing methods will considered as the methods that exploit the fact that a function typically changes sign in the vicinity of the root. So that means these methods are assumed the two initial guesses from the vicinity of the root. The two initial guesses should be selected in such fashion that the sign of function of those two initial guesses must be opposite, so that it can bracket, the root can be bracket within those two initial guesses. So that is why these techniques are called as bracketing methods, because two initial guesses for the approximating the actual root are required. So as the name implies, these guesses must bracket or be on either sides of the root. This we have studied in the graphical method, that there will be at least one root lie between two initial guesses if sign of their functions are opposite. So the particular methods described herein employ different strategies to systematically reduce the width of the particular bracket and hence home in on the correct answer of the root. To initiate to such methods, we have already discussed the graphical method for depicting the functions and finding out the initial guesses and hence the roots. What is useful thing which we have studied using graphical method is that it can be used to find out rough initial guesses which are required for bracketing methods. So now let us consider various steps involved in bisection method. Step 1 is you have to choose or select the lower guess as x1 and the upper guess as x2, which is nothing but lower bound and upper bound, which we have studied in the graphical method. So these are two initial guesses, x1 and x2, you have to select for finding out the approximated root, such that this statement is very important, such that the function changes sign over the interval. So now how to check this? That you can take the multiplication of function of x1 and function of x2. If it is less than 0, then you can say your initial guesses are correct. Or if you can observe the sign of f of x1 and f of x2, and if they are opposite, then also you can say your initial guesses are correct. Now second step is to find out the first approximate root estimation, can be done by finding out midpoint of initial guesses x1 and x2. So since it is called as midpoint of x1 and x2, we can use formula as x1 plus x2 divided by 2. That is why this method is called as bisection method, because you are finding out the next approximate root estimation, or we can say next guess, which will be approaching towards the exact or actual root by finding out the midpoint of two initial guesses which you are considering at the start. So now we will consider one example. Let us assume that x is plotted on on x axis x variable is plotted, and on y axis the respective function of x, that is y is equal to f of x, is plotted. Now let us consider this curve or this response as y is equal to f of x. After this, if you observe this function, it crosses the x axis at this particular point, and our intention is to find out value of this particular point, which is considered as the exact root of this particular equation. So now, as the bisection method involves finding out or selecting the initial guesses x1 and x2, what we will do is we will roughly start guessing the values of x starting from 0. In general you have to find out the guesses starting from minus infinity to plus infinity, but let us consider it to be start from 0. So initially I will assume value of x as 0, and I will find out function of x, that is f of x. Then I will find out then I will assume value of x as 1, and again I will find out function of x. Similarly, you have to repeat this procedure till you get sign change between two functions, two corresponding functions. If suppose when you assume initial guess for x as 0, and if you are getting f of x as minus 10, then if you are assuming x is equal to 1, and if you are getting f of x as minus 5, then these two initial guesses are incorrect, because there is no sign change. Sign for function when x is 0 and when x is 1 is negative, which is same, so which violates this condition. So that means these two initial guesses are wrong. So you have to go for third step, where you have to assume value of x as 2, and if value of when value of x is 2 and respective function, if you get it as plus 5, then you can say between value of x as 1 and value of x as 2 we have observed the sign change, because for when value of x is minus 5, the value of x is 1, the function is minus 5, the function of f of x, the f of x or y is minus 5, and when value of x is 2, the function is plus 5. So we can say there is sign change, and we can start initializing or we can assume those two guesses are correct guesses. So similarly, if we take this x1 as 1, that is initial guess x1, then we can put this x1 in the formula, and you can find the respective function as f of x1. Similarly, we have assumed value of x2. Again we can find out respective function as f of x2. Now, as per the bisection method, it is said that we have to find out midpoint between these 2 points. That means we have to find out midpoint of x1 and x2. So for that, what we have to do is we have to find out, we can consider formula as x1 plus x2 divided by 2 will give us x3. So this x3 value is considered to be the value of this particular root, which is exact root where we have to approach or where we have to converge. So now if you consider the midpoint of x1 and x2, it will come somewhere here. It will not be exactly equal to this exact root, but it will be near to the exact root. So let us consider this point as x3, and we will find out respective function by putting x3 value in the equation, and then we will get this point as f of x3. Now if you observe, we have two initial guesses, like the approximation value for x3 is nothing but it is also positive. So now again to reach to this particular point, we have to follow the same procedure. So what we can do is we can replace the value of this x2 with x3. So that means what we have to do is next initial guesses for iteration 2 will be x1 will remain as it is, and then we have to replace this x2 with x3, because if you cross these two conditions, these two checks for this particular initial guesses, you will find that. Let us do one thing. Let us take multiplication of f of x3 and f of x2. Is it less than 0? No. So initial guesses, the initial guesses for iteration 2, if you consider it as x3 and x2, it will be wrong. Or if you observe the sign of both functions, it is positive. So choosing these two iteration you will never get, converge to this particular point. You will converge in between these 2 points, and there is no root in between these 2 points. So what we have to do, again we have to observe the sign of f of x3 and f of x1. So here if you take multiplication of these two, you will find that it is less than 0, or even if you check the sign, these two signs are opposite. So that is why we have to replace this x2 with x3. Hence for next iteration, x2 will be this point and x1 will remain as it is. So now we can see it in the next slide. So now let us go for the next step. As we know that this is the exact route where we have to approach. The x1 will remain as it is, a function of x1 is shown by this point, and now x2 is replaced by x3. So what I will do, I will replace the name of this point as x3. It was x3 before, now I will replace it by x2. So now as you know this x2, you will be able to find out its function, and which will be f of x2. Now next step of bisection method, as we are aware that we have to find out midpoint of these 2 points, that is x1 and x2, we have to again find out the midpoint. So we will employ formula as x3, new x3. Now this x3 will be new x3 because x1 and x2 have been replaced. I mean x2 have been replaced, x1 is as it is. So let us find out the midpoint between these two. We will take same formula, x1 plus x2 divided by 2. Now after finding out the answer of this particular formula, you will observe that the midpoint between these two is now shown in this particular point. So now let us label that point as x3. We can find out the function of this particular point as by putting, you can put the value of x3 in the equation and you can get the value of its function. And now again you will see that we have found out the new approximation route, which is also near to this point, but it is not exact route. So now what we have to do is, again we have to compare the sign of these 3 functions, which is f of x1, f of x3 and f of x2, to start guessing the values of x1 and x2 for next iteration. So what we will do is, we will compare the sign of f of x1 and f of x3. If you consider the sign of both the function, it is same. So if you assume the initial guesses for next iteration as x1 and x3, it will be wrong. You will again converge it in between these 2 points where there is no root. Hence what we have to do is, you have to observe the sign of f of x3 and f of x2. Since the sign of f of x3 and f of x2 are opposite, you can replace this x3 with x1. So, or we can say you can assume the value of x1 as new x3. So we have to replace this x1 with the new value of x3. So in the next point you will observe that x2 will remain as it is with its respective function f of x2, and now x3 has been replaced by x1. So again we will find out the value, same value, but now it will be the name will be changed as x1. So respective function for x1 as shown here as f of x1. And now as you know that next step, again you have to find out the midpoint between x1 x2 you will employ formula to find out new x3 as x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and now you can observe that the midpoint of x1 and x2, which is x3, which is very close to your exact root. And again you have to repeat the same procedure. Now here also you have to replace this x3 with x1 and new x1 and x2. The midpoint between these 2 points can be calculated, which will come here. So again you have to replace this particular point with x2, and finally midpoint of this particular point, new point, and this x3 previously, which was previously x3 but now x1, can be taken, and it can be as close as to your exact root. Hence these methods are to be solved using programming apparently, because to compute so many iterations for so many times may not be possible for human being. Hence numerical methods are interfaced with the programming always. Hence the bisection method, the principle of bisection method can be employed to find out next approximate root or approximation of actual root by considering midpoint of two initial guesses, which will converge somewhere or sometime to the exact root. So now let us try to solve one example using the bisection method, which we have studied just now. So let us assume the equation as f of x or y is equal to x cube minus x square minus 20. Now as we are aware that we have to start the bisection method by two initial guesses, assuming two initial guesses. Hence what we have to do is, the first step is, let us assume the initial guesses starting from 0 with the step size of 1. So what we will do is, we will assume first guess as 0, x is equal to 0, and so that means to find out f of x, we will put value of x at 0 here. So 0 cube minus 0 square minus 20 will give you value as minus 20. So if you see, the sign of function of 0 is nothing but negative. So now let us assume the next guess, that is second guess, as 1. So when you put value of x as 1 here and here, again you will get value of the respective function as minus 20. So now if you compare the sign of these two functions, which are computed by the values of x as 0 and x as 1, you can find that there is no change in the sign. Both signs of both function is negative. So assuming these two initial guesses will never reach to the exact root, that means these two initial guesses are wrong. So you have to repeat this procedure till you get sign change in the function. So I will assume the value of x as 2, and I will find the respective function, which is nothing but minus 16. Now here also, if you compare the sign of these two functions, you will find that the sign is same, it is not opposite. So here also, if you consider interval of 1 to 2, you will never find any root in between these two. Now we will assume next guess as 3, and when we put value of 3 in this particular equation, you will get value of function as minus 2. So here also, the interval between 2 to 3, there is no root because sign is same. Now let us assume next guess as 4, and let us find out the respective function. You will find that answer is 28. Now if you compare the sign of function when x is 3 and when x is 4, you will find there is sign change. So that means at least one root will lie in between interval 3 and 4. Hence, and even if you go for next guess, you will find the value which is increasing, which is, when you considering it to be 5, value is 80. So even again, if you consider the interval 4 and 5, there will not be any root. So what we will do, we will assume the initial guesses as 3 and 4. So as we have observed that there is sign change in between 3 and 4, we will select x1 as 3 and x2 as 4. Or what we can do is, we can check with the other formula or other statement, that f of x1 and f of x2, multiplication of these two must be less than 0. So if you multiply 28 with minus 2, which is obviously less than 0, hence initial guesses x1 as 3 and x2 as 4 are correct. Now one important note you have to understand, that here step size I have considered as 1 while guessing the various values of x. You can consider it to be 0.5 also, no problem, or even if you can consider it as 2, then also fine. But then if you consider the step size of this particular value as the lowest, then you will get more accuracy in minimum steps. But if you take the value of step size as 2, obviously you will get correct accuracy, but then it will consume more iterations or more steps to converge towards the root. Hence it depends on you to select the step size. I have selected it to be 1, and then now we will see what happens next. But it depends on you, how do you select the step size. So what I will do, I will write this as, when x is 3, f of x is minus 2, x is 4, f of x is 28. So initial guesses are correct. This I told you previously. So now the next step, as we know that to find out the value of x3, which is nothing but the next approximated root, bracketing the first two initial guesses. So what we have to do is, we have to consider the formula to find out the midpoint as x1 plus x2 divided by 2, that is 3, which is x1, plus 4, which is x2 divided by 2, answer is 3.5. Now what we have to do is, we have to observe the sign of f of x3. So for that particular thing, what we will do is, we know that value of x3 is 3.5. We will find out f of x3, which comes out to be 10.62. Now since it is positive, what we have to do is, we have to replace x2 with x3. Why we are doing this? Because function if you consider the function of x3, it is positive, that is 10.62. Now if you compare it with f of x1 and f of x2, you will find that if you compare, if you take the multiplication, if you observe this particular check, you will find that if you multiply the value of f of x3 with f of x2, which is nothing but this 4, we have considered value of x2 as 4, which is 28. So if you multiply this 10 with this 28, then it will violate this particular condition, because it is greater than 0. Or even if you check the signs, this is also positive and this is also positive, this 28 is also positive. So these two initial guesses will be wrong for next iteration. So now what we have to do is, we have to compare it with the another value of x, which we have considered as initial guess. So for x1, when we have considered x1 as 3, its function is negative. So that is why we have to replace this particular x2 with x3, and hence we will go for replacing this x2 with x3, and we will keep the value of x1 as 3 as it is. Next 2 will be replaced by 3.5. So to find out next value of x3 in between x1 when it is 3 and x2 is 3.5, we will apply the midpoint formula, which is x3 is equal to 3 plus 3.5 divided by 2, which comes out to be 3.25. So again we have to check the sign of this particular when we find out f of x3 and when we check sign, it can be found that when x3 is 3.5, f of x3 is 3.76, which is also positive. Now again you have to compare this f of x3 with f of x1 and f of x2. So Here also you can find that since the value is this value is positive, again you have to replace your x2, this particular value, because you have seen that when x2 is 3.5, its function is also positive, so you have to replace x2 with x3. Therefore new initial cases can be considered as x1 can be kept 3 as it is, and x2 will be replaced by 3.25. so find next to find next approximated root, that is x3, between new initial cases as x1 is 3 and x2 is 3.5, we will employ formula which is equal to x3 is equal to 3 plus 3.25 divided by 2 equal to 3.125. Now if you observe the values of this midpoint, the first midpoint was 10 point, it was first midpoint was 3.5, then the midpoint was we can see it here 3.25, then you can find midpoint at this iteration, it is 3.125. so that means these values are now getting closer to your exact root. So next step will be to find out f of x3 when x3 is 3.125. you can see now again f of x3 is 0.75, which is positive. So now replace this x2 with x3. So initial cases, now the x1 as there is sign change happening on the other side of the bracket or the midpoint, hence we have to replace x2 with x3. So in now new initial cases as x3 is equal to 3 as it is, and now x2 will be considered as 3.125. now we will find out the next approximation as value of x3 between point x1 and x2. so x3 will be equal to 3 plus 3.125 divided by 2. so now if you consider the value of this x3, which is midpoint, again it has it is converging or approaching towards the exact root, which is 3.06. so now again we have to find out the function for this particular value. so f of x3, now you can see it has been diverted towards the other side of exact root. Now since the value of this particular function is negative, that is 0.71, now you have to replace your x1 with x3. so initial cases are, instead of considering 3 as x1, we will replace it with the new value of x3, which is x1 is equal to 3.06 and x2 will be as it is as 3.125. so to find out the new x3, we will consider these two particular points, and the value of x3 is considered as 3.06 plus 3.125 divided by 2, which is 3.09. so lastly again you have to consider the value of x3 as 3.09, and you have to find out the function. As you can see here, function is also negative, which is minus 0.04. so you can replace your x1 with x3. so now x1 is replaced as 3.09 and x2 will be as it is, which is 3.125. so new value of x3 will be 3.10. so let us check the sign for this particular value. f of x3 is equal to 0.18, which is positive. so now here you can replace x2 with x3. so new initial cases will be, value of x1 will be as it is 3.09 and value of x2 is replaced, which is 3.10. so now find out next value of x3 by considering these two values of x1 x2. you will find that 3.09 plus 3.10 divided by 2 is equal to 3.095. so lastly what we can see is that current value of x3 is 3.095 and function of which is equal to 0.06 and which is positive. so here we can stop. I mean it depends on you and the accuracy which you want to find out the value of that particular root. so if you can see here, value of function of f of x3, value of function of f of x3 is 0.06 and it is positive. we can say that we are almost reached near to the 0, and here we can stop. so if you compare the value of x3 with the previous iterations, you can tabulate this result to find out the accuracy between two iterations. So latest value of x3 is nothing but 0.06. The function, sorry, value of function of f of x3 is 0.06, which is near to 0. You can compare it with the previous values of the function. You can see here it was 0.18. Then you can find here it was minus 0.04. Here also you can stop because this is also near to the 0. So even if you can stop at this step, it is fine, because this value of function of f of x3 is also near to 0. Though it is negative, it is immaterial. That you are approaching towards root is important. The value, the sign of that particular function is immaterial. So basically where to stop will be given in the numerical, will be depending by the accuracy, and hence there is no need to worry that where you have to stop. It will be given by in the numerical either by iteration method. Many times number of iterations are specified. So if it is said that find out root of equation for this particular function, which is equal to x cube minus x square minus 20, using bisection method, using 5 iterations, then you have to perform 5 iterations and you have to stop. So this is how a bisection method is employed to find out the root of equation. Now if you have any doubts, you can contact me on WhatsApp, or you can call me. We will be able to resolve your doubts. We will be conducting the online session after completion of the roots of equation to clear your doubts collectively. Thank you so much.